question from Larry Sims. Have you seen this about manufacturing returning to the U.S., Dr. Steve? What have you seen about manufacturing returning to the U.S.? I guess because I don't see a link there. But.
Right. Well, no. Biden isn't. Biden is a globalist. He is, and he's a proponent of green energy. And right now, China is way ahead of us in terms of green energy manufacturing. This was Trump's point to the United Auto Workers in Detroit. Don't look. I'm not telling you to vote for me over Trump just because I'm going to bring jobs back. I vote for me over Biden just because I'm going to bring jobs back. You vote for Biden, you're not going to have, you yourself are not going to have a job in 2 years. They're all going to get shipped over to China. So Trump did an amazing job of bringing manufacturing back home over the course of those 4 years. We had the lowest manufacturing unemployment, I think, on record. It was only 2 or 3%. And you can be sure that with Biden, corporations are once again being allowed to basically ship their jobs overseas and maximize their margins, rather than, with Trump with his threat of tariffs, very similar to what Putin did with the oligarchs. You gotta keep. You can make all the money you want, but you gotta keep your money inside the United States. You can't. And in this case, you got to keep the jobs inside the United States. You can't ship them off to third world countries. So no, unfortunately, with Biden, it's just bad.
All right, Ronald Taylor wants to know what is really going on in Russia. There've been a lot of odd things happening today.
Who really knows what's going on? I'm not sure what you're referring to in particular. But just generally speaking, so there's a lot of elections this year, and one of them is in Russia. Another one's in India. There's going to be obviously ours. There's going to be European Parliament elections all across the European continent. So there's a lot of elections going on this year, and Putin has basically an 80% approval rating. That's what a lot of people don't mention. Is yes, Putin is pretty rough with the opposition, but there really isn't an opposition in Russia. What's his name? Navalny, the dissident leader. He's lucky if he gets 10% approval. Russians don't buy into it and one of the reasons is because he's so pro-West and the West loves him. And right now, Russians have been have learned from Biden, don't trust the West. The West is not your friend. So, and then in terms of Ukraine, the latest is that Zelensky is asking Switzerland to broker a peace summit. He knows the money's basically come to an end, and and the manpower is coming to an end. And he knows he's going to have to try to broker a peace. The question is whether or not Putin's going to want to give it the time of day. Putin's in the driver's seat in Ukraine completely. I mean, they've usurped 20% of Ukraine. They annexed it, and Putin said it sounds like he wants to go all the way to Odessa and cut off Ukraine completely from the Black Sea and landlock them, basically. So now he would have effectively destroyed their export. Their grain and exporting capabilities with that. So, it's just, I just think what's happened is such a tragedy. We knew it was going to turn into a tragedy. We knew they needed to broker a peace immediately, which is what Erdogan tried to do in Turkey, just literally weeks after it broke out. And it looked like Zelensky and Putin were going to sit down. He was going to agree to neutrality, that Zelensky, no NATO alliance or anything like that. And Boris Johnson came in and said, nope, don't, NATO's going to give you everything you need. Don't sign any peace treaty. We're going to use this to try to get regime change in Russia, which was the stupidest, dumbest geopolitical foreign policy blunder like ever. And we knew it. We knew that would never happen. They just don't understand Russia. They are very dumb. The permanent political class is they are so narcissistic. They are so inside their own cultural space. They are very dumb to the way the world has changed. So Russia has completely changed for 300 years. They have basically been relatively pro-West in their trade, even during the Soviet period to a certain extent. They've always looked to the West for goods, for services, and products and the like. Those days are over. They've completely shifted eastward. They're going with China. They're going with India. They're going with the Middle East. And they want nothing to do with the West now. Nothing. And they're 100% Eurasian at this point. And we have Biden to thank for it.
Gang, our good friend Mike Lindell needs your help. Mike is one of the strongest patriots working tirelessly for the America First and MAGA movements in this country, and also happens to be a very close friend to this channel, as you know. From election integrity to protecting American businesses, Mike really does it all. And now, as a cabal of deep state lawyers and election machine companies are trying to take Mike down with frivolous lawsuits, he needs your support more than ever. Mike recently said he was going to fight every lawsuit until he wins and will never settle out of court with people who help rig the election. So, with this in mind, I want to remind you about the incredible MyPillow deals Mike is offering with my promo code Turley. Now, if you just click on the link in my description below, you can save well over 60% on all sorts of incredible MyPillow products. Of course, Mike is offering huge savings on the new and improved MyPillow 2.0, but gang, I would also recommend hugely Mike's My Slippers, as well as his amazingly comfortable bed sheets. These are some of the comfiest slippers and sheets I've ever owned. In fact, I would use that word to describe all of MyPillow's products. Comfy. Comfy to the maximum. So don't wait, gang. Support Mike as he fights for election integrity and gets some extremely comfy things to boot. It's a win-win. Don't wait. Click on that link below or go to mypillow.com/Turley right now.
I have read that one strategy the Democrats plan to use this election cycle is to get Sleepy Joe Biden to resign about 2 months before the election and then put one of our current or former governors on the ticket. However, I thought there was a deadline to file to run for office with some other criteria to get on the ticket. Am I recalling correctly? And is this strategy even possible?
I don't think it is. I really don't. I'm with you. I don't think you could just insert somebody, but we, as you know, we live in an era of weaponized legalism, and the law gets it always gets bent towards progressive ends. So that said, the one problem they're facing in all of this is that nobody else is polling as well as Biden. I know that sounds utterly bizarre, but they've polled everybody. They polled Whitmer. They polled Gruesome Newsom. They polled Michael Obama. They've polled they've polled, of course, the Cackles Kamala. They're all doing worse than Biden. They're all doing worse. So that's why the theory is, well, let's try to put Nikki Haley in because a Republican's going to win. There's no way Biden could win, and they can't cheat their way out of this. If they thought they could cheat their way out of this, they wouldn't be looking so desperate to try to get rid of Trump through the weaponized lawfare. So they're stuck with Biden, I think, in the end.
Yeah, I could see some truth to what Vivek's talking about with Haley for sure. So I'm going to trot her in there.
I hope you enjoyed that clip of my Monday night Insiders Club live stream. Join us live next week by clicking on the link in the description below and joining the coalition of patriots worldwide, building a parallel economy to return to our roots of faith, family, and freedom. Click below right now.